All right, we're over here in the area that you guys love the absolute most. But today's video, or one piece of it, is going to be about business. Obviously, the business we're in is trucks and several other things. Some of you guys may know, and some of you guys may not know. We'll go into a little bit of that today. But it's also about small business, big business, and just business in general. So a lot of people are always asking, how did you get your start? How did you do this? How did you do that? Lots of questions. I want to answer them all. So watch through the video. You're going to see some cool trucks. You're going to see some cool information. And even if you're not a business owner, you ever thought about being a business owner, you got a family member that's a business owner, this video is going to be extremely important to watch because there's going to be some things in there that everybody can take away and be like, oh my gosh, I never, ever even thought about that. So stay tuned. All right. So I'm going to try to make this the most dumbed down version I can of Business 101. And a lot of people just look at us for the car side of the business. We also do a ton of buyouts when companies close, go out of business, have hardships, things like that. Whether it be tires and wheels, cookers, floats, buoys, refrigerators, it doesn't matter. We're just general business people. And when a good deal's out there, we snatch it up. So that's going to allow me to make this video a little bit easier for you guys because I want y'all to understand the importance of dealing with small business. And I'm not just talking about us. I'm talking about small business in general because we see so many people currently literally crumbling and they don't even know it. They don't even see it. They don't even realize it. So let's just start with the easiest. Not a ton of employees, not a ton of overhead. Let's just say I hire AJ and he is my sales guy in my warehouse for selling these grills, which anything you see in this video is for sale. So, but this is not a sales video. He sells these grills, and let's just say we pay $75 for it, and we're going to sell it for 90. We'll make 15 bucks. That's that's about an average margin for something of that price point. Whether it be a tire, a wheel, a cooker, a float, whatever, a paddle. We're making 15 bucks. Customer comes in. Yes, sir. I want to buy that. I'm going to pay for it. Now, we're not going to get all confusing because credit cards, the fees on credit cards, all kinds of things will blow your mind currently. Let's just dumb it down. Let's do this. AJ, how many of these you will sell every day? 100. Holy moly. AJ just took a new job. You guys are never going to see him behind the camera again. Ever. So realistically, we're going to, there you go. We're going to sell 5, 6, 7, 8 of them a day. No problem. That's pretty good. That's pretty accurate. That's the number we were looking for. We're going to sell somewhere in that neighborhood. Because if not, we're getting ready to get all these pallets down and you just got a whole new job. Because that would make sense. But realistically, you're going to sell 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe a good day you sell 10. All right? Well, AJ's making, being his cooking salesman's position, he's making 15 bucks an hour. So cool. We sold 7 of these. He worked 7 hours. We made $15 a piece. Not bad. He got $15 an hour. Okay. What happened? We broke even. Period. We broke even. AJ got a paycheck. All's good. Employee got a paycheck. Boss man's, doing whatever he's doing. He's off playing golf or doing something. How many you sell, AJ? Sold 7. Okay, not a bad day. Keep on going. Next day goes around, next day goes around. The bottom line is 0. Let's just take that. Let's just say it's 0. And again, y'all want to be in business, make a profit. I'm sure you are. If you want to stay in business, you need to. But what's not thought about is it had to be in this building. This building probably had the fan running. He flushed the toilet a few times because he couldn't hold it all day. So we got a water bill. We got an electric bill. We got a rent or mortgage bill. We got some of this stuff went on credit card, so we got a fee. So real quickly, we went backwards. Now, most businesses, this is the start. But now they got 10 AJs They got 10 times the amount of these things they got to get rid of, and they don't look at the bottom line. I don't know how much else to make it even any simpler than that, but most people be like, dang, I did pretty good, because you see that the $75 was recouped. But you got to remember that $75 was spent to buy the item. It wasn't free. People all the time say, oh man, you had a good day. Sold a $140,000 tow truck. Good day. Forget we paid $135 for it. We shipped it. We cleaned it. We washed it. We put it on the parking lot. We insured it. But sure, we got a check for $140,000. But only a small fraction of that was the profit. So the car business real quickly can get out of hand, because you sell a few, you get that money back in the bank. You're not looking at the bottom line. And right now, the bottom lines for most all industries is smaller, because the cost of goods is higher. The cost of everything else around you is higher. Insurance is higher. Rent is up. Electric bills up. Everything's higher than it ever was. Now, the biggest thing, and here's where it's going to really hit home, are our multi-generational businesses or long-term ownership businesses. We've had several companies recently that we've bought a ton of equipment from and a ton of vehicles from that just woke up one day and the owner said, it's just not worth it anymore, JW. Like, what happened? Well, man, I got to looking at the numbers and it just didn't make any sense. We were bidding work, we were getting work, we were doing the jobs. The bottom line wasn't coming in. And then I had a big piece of machinery go down. Some businesses, guys, realize if you're in the excavation business, towing business, this is towing, tow truck goes down, $130,000 to $160,000 to replace a normal tow truck. These big tow trucks you see hauling tractor trailers, they can go upwards of $1 million. Big excavators, things like that, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what happens in business? You pay that stuff off and you keep using it. That's great. But you're not looking at the true bottom line any longer. You had a payment on that piece of equipment. You had a payment on that tow truck. You had a payment on that excavator. You paid it off, so that $5,000 or $6,000 a month wasn't in your expenses any longer. If your bottom line doesn't cover that expense continually, when it breaks, you're not going to be able to afford to replace it. And that's what happened with a couple of these companies. Not only did they have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 pieces of paid for equipment, they had 50 to 100 vans, bucket trucks, equipment, other things that were paid for. They weren't utilizing those expenses. So when that stuff did break, the job they quoted was enough to make money, but it was not making money on the right level. We're even guilty of it in our own business. We've been at it a long time. Some of the real estate is paid for. Some of the real estate that we utilize, we don't utilize it as smartly as we should, because it's like, okay, it doesn't cost us anything, but it would. And I'm going to use a perfect example. Our shop down the road that we were using as a service shop, not the off-road shop, not the service shop currently, our previous service shop, rents for $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. We were not bringing in because we were utilizing it ourselves. So we were looking at it as, okay, we got an employee. That employee makes X. He does X amount of work. It would cost more money to send it somewhere else. That all made sense. That simple math made perfect sense. Until you start looking at it as that employee also has health insurance. We got to insure the building. Same deal. He flushes the toilet. He needed Wi-Fi. He needed supplies. Let's just walk over here. Even though he brought his own toolbox, that's the big thing with a mechanic. I'm bringing my own toolbox. I got my own tools. Well, that's only one part of it. Now, this truck's in some major repairs currently, but you got to have brake clean. You got to have the stuff that goes on the floor to clean up the leak. You got to have sealer to seal the rear end. You got to have parts. We're not marking those parts up like a regular shop would. And for those of you that wonder about extensiveness of repairs, this truck's got the rear end apart. It's got a crazy block system that's getting ready to be swapped out. Rear end's getting serviced. Brakes getting serviced. Not the normal thing that we would typically pull into, but it's something that had to be fixed because it was acting up and it was a problem. So Uncle Dave was getting ready to start on that now, bright and early morning. So there's other expenses, and when you look at those other expenses, you're like, wouldn't it just be nice to bring that $5,000 in a month and not have any worries, not have an employee to check on, not have anything else going on? Now, again, that he could be the superstar of the world, but if he's turning wrenches, he's going to make a certain amount of money, and he's going to make the company a certain amount of money. By the time you pay taxes on that certain amount of money, it dwindles away pretty quickly. So again, it doesn't really matter. It's all relative, whether you're selling motors, pieces of equipment, forklifts, whether you're doing a service, whether you're running a heat and air conditioning business, whether you're running a roofing business, a lighting business. There's expenses that you guys a lot of times are taking for granted or not looking at. And when you really look at that bottom line, a lot of times all the extra profit, all the extra money is gone. And that's unfortunate. So you're basically working yourself for free. In our business, people look at it all the time and say, JW, your overhead. Our overhead would make you fall flat on the floor. I always looked at overhead of dealerships and new car dealerships and other businesses, and it was staggering. Now I live it. Of course, we're enjoying growing. We enjoy what we do. It's, I have great employees that get a paycheck because of it. So that's kind of a fortunate situation. But if you're running on a borrowed time already, the way this economy is and how tight things are, watch your bottom line, because your pride sometimes will outweigh yourself in profit and other things. And it's super duper unfortunate. It really is. So again, I know some of you, I'm preaching to the choir. Some of you work for DuPont or Philip Morris or some big plant and you got a gravy job. That's awesome. Good for y'all. But at the same time, what made me think about that is I've got a young man that is working for a plant and he's probably going to lose his job. He had his whole lifestyle set up, bills, cars, hobbies, and he thinks he's going to lose his job. Now, thankfully, he has mechanical skills. So he's thinking about making a change. But I real quickly told him, I was like, all right, that's great. That's no problem. You were making X an hour, and now you think you can make X an hour. That's great. You're going to make more money per hour, but you're going to have a building, and you're going to have probably an employee, and you're going to have electricity and cable and phone and, water and all these other things, insurance. Oh, golly day. That cuts a ton of it away. Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, it does. And again, you might get over that hump and you might do it for 15 or 20 years. Always look at your bottom line and refigure the forklift that's paid for, the piece of equipment that's paid for, all the other things. Refigure those things and realize they will cost you something to replace. They are an asset while you have them, but when they go down and you depend on it, you're going to have to replace it. And if there's not enough profit in there to cover it, then you're going to have a problem. And you go real quickly start spiraling backwards, because when one thing breaks, another thing breaks, and another thing breaks. That's just a general trend. So again, this may not make sense to all you guys, but I will tell you, support small business. If you don't, there won't be any trades left. There won't be carpenters and there won't be roofers, and there's going to have to be, but it's going to be large conglomerates and large companies that can just afford to funnel money, raise prices as they run the small guy out. That's what happens. So again, do your best to support your small business, your friends, your buddies. There's so many scams in the world. We did a whole video yesterday about scams. This world is getting worse and worse. And why? Because people are scrounging to find a way to make $1. And it's going to get worse. It may never get better at this point. The way the economy is so upside down. We're still running on COVID money. And I know that's such a negative word currently, and I hate it, but we're still running on COVID money for a lot of businesses. I know, I've said it before, we know businesses that got hundreds of thousands of dollars. We know businesses that got millions of dollars. They're still running their lifestyle off COVID money. It will run out eventually. So just remember that. You can't run on borrowed time forever. You got to pay the piper one day, I guess is the way it goes. But just watch your expenses, watch your bottom line, and pay attention. That's the best advice I can tell you. There are still opportunities for small guys or small business out there, but you have to be frugal. You have to be understanding, just like us. All this stuff in the background. When I can stock up, I stock up. I bought that stuff 20 cents on the dollar. That means I got it for 80% off. It's okay, I have it stockpiled. I will use it. That's DEF fluid, and that's bolts and nuts, and different things like that. If I had to pay retail for it, that'd be one more expense that we'd have, times 80% higher. You just got to be smart with the things you do. So thanks, guys. Appreciate that. A couple more fun clips coming your way. All right, ran across the street kind of at the last second. This truck here is actually getting ready to head to its new home way across the country. Transporter's out front getting ready to load it up. As usual, guys, there was some transportation issues. Try to always be very straight up with y'all. And this one, we had it arranged. They canceled. We had it arranged again. We sent them a picture. 2 days later, they canceled. Had another one set up. Blazer going out. That's a really, really good looking Blazer. Alvin's getting ready to wash it up, and we'll have some really good pictures on that one. Trailer trouble. So now on the fourth transporter, and that's going a long ways, not like it's just going down the street. So fourth transporter is physically here. He has the proper trailer. He's going to be able to take it. So thankful for that. So we're getting ready to put this thing on the truck, and it is going to a pretty cool situation. This was actually done and set up for a business owner, and it's being done by his employee and another. All right, guys, sorry about that. My phone rang, AJ's phone rang, and the company phone rang all at the same time. But just wanted you guys to see this truck before it left out. It's got the power step system. This was the truck that was on 44-inch tires. So for you that would not even know the difference or know, this was that truck. You couldn't even see the inside. It was so tall before. None of my guys even wanted to get in and out of it because it didn't have the steps. And the rocker was literally like up here before. It was crazy jump. So all of us getting a little age on us weren't real thrilled to jump in and out of it. But the coolest part of this truck was it was LS, vintage air, 1 ton, short 1 ton axles, and short bed. Dana 60, 14 bolt, disc brake converted. It already had all the good stuff, and that's what this guy was looking for. Alvin's literally coming over here right now just to wipe the dust off of it before it leaves, because transporter just showed up physically here. But it checked all the boxes, except for it was too big. Like, it was bigger than that blue step side right there. Actually, a decent amount bigger. Yeah, a decent amount, because the 44s were underneath the truck. So for those of y'all to remember that monster, and a lot of people overlooked it. And I said, you guys, you're overlooking this truck because of its size. Some reached out and liked it. I had one guy that was ready to buy it. It would not fit in his garage. Like, he was ready to wire the money, and it was within like 3 or 4 inches. But he wanted that size. He didn't want to take any height away from it. And we agreed anything you did was going to change it if you didn't lower the truck. So Brian and Daniel were able to get the height of the lift down, still keep it on crossover steering, still keep it with the track bar system, not interfere with the cross member for the LS or anything else. It's on Fox shocks. It turned out really, really freaking good. And it was already a solid truck. And this truck was, for what it was super affordable because it wasn't practical. It was just too freaking big. Now, sitting on 37s, a moderate wheel, all the right stuff, it's not so bad. It's actually a good looking, good driving, very powerful truck. So Alvin's going to finish wiping it down. We're going to put it on the transport truck. We'll send it to its new home. I wish we'd had a little bit more time to go over it a little bit more in depth because it is a super duper freaking cool truck. Pop the hood? Yeah, let's pop the hood real quick. Thank you. Yeah, you can actually see under the hood. You could not before whatsoever. Hold on. Let's try closing the door trick. Nah, still not. There we go. Let's tweak that a little bit real quick. All right. Yep. A little extra on there. Helps a lot. But Vortec Max 6-liter vintage air system, Got all the sensors, everything hooked up. The other thing I liked about this truck, it even had the port inside the truck for pulling diagnostics. They did a great job on it, the way they set it up. Of course, the fuse box, the computer, the headers fit. They did a good job. Like I said, a lot of times we critique these installs a lot. They did a good job on the install of this truck. Hood closes well, just doesn't open quite as easy, so it'll be better now. And another little trick, guys. Stretch that spring and lube that latch. Those are the two things, and it will work a ton better. But cool truck, way different than what it was, and the customer is going to absolutely freaking love it because, one, it's a surprise. Two, how can you not like a 1-ton axle, short bed, white Chevy? Now, if you guys missed out and you love this truck, crazy good enough. We've got another big block, 1-ton, regular cab, short bed, in white. They're putting a lift on it right now. I think we're going to end up with about this same size. I think we'll do 37s. So if you like the look of this truck in this size, the other truck is not an LS, it's a big block. When I bring it to you, it's actually got something even a little bit more special, which is kind of cool. But Brian and Daniel realized that while they had it on the rack the other day. So pretty neat build there too. That one will be for sale. This one's gone, hit it home. But a good example of, let's call it about, this truck's on about 6 inches of lift currently. 37s, 17 by 9, maybe 17 by 10s, proper offset, and a really good looking open country. We don't use this tire very often on the square body stuff, but the open country tire, again, kind of a mixed terrain. It's the RT. Not a mud terrain, not an all-terrain, but we don't get a chance to use that tire very often. So happy we could use it on this. Most of the time it's either the mud terrain or it's a crazy swamp or bogger, or here to come Mickey Thompson soon. And did you show the inside? Just in case you did? All right, cool. Again, we're rushing a little bit, guys. I just wanted to capture it before it left. I got to put one little clip on that door over there. Got to grab that from David. Oh yeah, start up. She's amazing. Super cool truck. Like I said, Alvin's getting ready to knock the dust off of it. My man's literally standing there ready to load it, and we're going to send it to its new destination. So glad we could catch that little clip. Sorry, a little sporadic and a little rushed, but it's going to be cool when it lands in its new home. Really extra special customer that doesn't even know it's coming. So even better. Thanks, guys. Over here in our sea of bucket trucks, we can make a corn maze out of these things. I just did a little quick clip on our YouTube shorts, but these trucks are anywhere from 15 grand to 30 grand in this size range. We got 350s, 450s, and 550s. And then across the road, we've got the cranes, we got internationals, we got Freightliners. Those are a little bit more expensive. They're also a ton taller. But we have more bucket trucks right now than I think we have square bodies by far, which is weird. But they're great trucks. My little short, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch that. But literally, I pointed to everything we did on these buildings, especially across the road. And I'll recap it real quick. We took one of these $15,000 trucks. We used the generator because the power situation over there was a problem. We used the generator to run the shop for a while, run our tools for a while, run the contractor's tools for a while. But just so you guys know what these things are usable for, I don't care if you got a farm, a fixer-upper business, a rental business, you flip houses, you are a plumber. Why a plumber? You can get up in that 30-foot ceiling in there and you can put a sprinkler pipe in. You can run a vent from the bathroom. You can do whatever you want to. Electrician, why do you need that if you're not working on power lines? Well, one, you can set lights, but also all of the lights on that building were done with it. Our security guy used it for setting the cameras and also pulling the cable. Our internet guy used it for pulling the cable. Our guy putting the vents in for the exhaust fans used it. We've set our doors with it. We set the windows with it. We did the concrete work with it. We did the metal work with it. We fixed the gutters with it. We got on the roof and fixed the roof with it. The guy that put the skylights in used it. The electrician used it again on the inside and getting ready to use it again on the inside to put more fans in, but set some of the fans in. We put the sign on the front of the building with it. What else? We painted the whole building with it. Over here, we painted the building with it. We set the skylights with it. We fixed their wiring with it. We put the vent in the office right there just a few weeks ago with it. And that's just what we used it for in a little bit of time. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, and it was used for a diving board also for the kids. But you can't, when they say VersaLift, it's freaking versatile. We've got All-Tex, we got VersaLifts. Most of them are VersaLifts for some reason. But they've got a Cummins own-end generator. This is not a sales pitch. You can tell I'm obviously a little amped up about it. We do have plenty of them. If you're a contractor and you have any need for any of that stuff, trees, we took the trees down with it. We trimmed the trees with it. We hung a flag with it before we had the crane to hang a flag with. The uses are literally endless. So they are, like I said, from 15 grand, 16.9, 19.9, 24.9. But even if you just own a farm and you need something from time to time to get in the air, or use a freaking generator, you can't beat it. They're all ready for the road. And even Christian figured out how to use the thing. So, I mean, where's the power plug thing at? Oh, right here. 240 plug, 120 plug, controls on the bottom, controls in the bucket, ladder thing. I mean, they're decked out. Anyway, sorry. I know the bucket trucks are not what you're here for to watch, but these for us are really cool. We were pretty thankful to get these. They did come from Comcast and Verizon, were the two companies that used them. They maintain them like crazy. Tires are great. Maintenance is great. We've serviced them, so they're good to go. Today we also got multiple things knocked out at the stereo shop. We started talking with them about the plans for the SEMA build for a little bit, even though you're not going to see the inside. We're going to do some custom stuff on the inside. We're going to do some custom stuff on the outside with some lighting. That is up with Daniel and Brian. They're working on a cool two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion. Oh, we bought several square bodies today. We bought several work trucks today. We bought a couple rollbacks today. So those will be coming in and getting posted. We teased you guys with that maroon step side. That freaking thing is going ridiculous on the internet. We still got some maintenance to do, still got some repairs to do, still got some things to take care of on that truck. We got a little ahead of ourselves, but I mean, how can you not like an 18-inch lifted 44-inch tire on an 18-wide wheel? I mean, it's nasty, and it's got a 408 striker motor, so it sounds crazy. We're getting some maintenance wrapped up on that. My daily ride has been filthy, but if you guys, I tell y'all sometimes I pick something and drive it. There's my bright blue shoes, my tank top, fuel cans for a construction project currently. Been hauling three-wheelers, pulled our enclosed trailer with it. It's emptier. Yeah, it's empty. It was not empty this morning. I went by the dumpster and cleaned out. But this is a 2018 Lariat truck. I've personally been driving it for almost 2 weeks now. The guys know to jump in it and drive it if they need to. I'll have to check, but I think I put 2,000 miles on it. It's a 20 grand truck. It's hauled to kids. It's hauled my fiance. It is freaking nice. Everywhere I stop, people think I bought a brand new, I mean, it looks like a new truck because it's platinum pearl white. Took it dove hunting, got it dirty. You should have come dove hunting, AJ. I mean, we didn't kill anything, but yeah, we didn't kill nothing, but we shot some. Oh, hang on. Here's what we killed, guys. We killed a Clorox bottle. We put a pretty good pattern in it. Yeah. And then the kids made a sifter. They had fun with that. They were pretty filthy when they went home. So we thought about shooting a gas can, but we didn't have an empty one. So that would have made for a good boom probably. Some Tannerite in a gas can would have been pretty sweet. So it made for a good video. Yeah, we got some videos of the kids, so it's kind of a family tradition. I know everybody doesn't agree with hunting. But it's a family tradition. We go and hang out. Like I said, all my family has always done it. LS Jeep's getting ready to head out. The LS Chevy headed out. That's in this video, right? Okay, so you guys saw the LS Chevy before it left. It loaded up. It's gone. Raymond's out on a run delivering a rollback. Just got a call in between these videos. Customers there, loves it, happy with it, writing a check, and Raymond is on his way back home. So, and just so you guys know how that works, that customer, shoot, remind me I gotta call him right back. So he needs to know how to write the check. Called Friday, said he would confirm on Monday. He called on, well, Monday turned into Tuesday because of the holiday. He called Tuesday, said, yeah, I do want it. I got to move some funds around. I promise I'm going to take it if you can get your guy on the road. Got Raymond on the road right away. He's there now, across the country, delivering this truck. Man's giving him a check. He's coming back. We try to do everything we can to make those deals work. Got a, you already pulled it over? Polaris. Any of you guys that were thinking about a Polaris kind of missed out. Oh, the 40 Ford. Anybody interested in a 40 Ford? I have decided after talking to my shop guys, service shop guys mainly, we're just not going to mess with that 30s, 40s, 50s generation stuff much anymore. I hate it because I like those cars, but it is getting increasingly hard to deal with some of the repairs and finding parts. So we're probably going to stick with 60s models and newer going forward. So any of my stuff that I've got, the Hemi Plymouth, the 39 or 40 Ford Coupe there, or sedan, whatever that is, we'll make some deals. I want to see them go to a good home. I'd rather see that than anything. I can send them to Barrett Jackson. I can send them anywhere, but I'd rather somebody end user get them. And I had a couple people comment on them, you're full of crap. You'll sell to anybody who spends money. I can promise you that's not the case. I've had customers I will not sell to that did have the money, but it's all about the right customer, right situation, and also respect. I had 2 customers in the last week because of the holidays and us getting behind, be rude to our staff in there. You're not buying anything. We're not going to call you back. So don't disrespect. I think I take that a little bit harder because one of them that disrespected my mom, and very, very disrespectful. And you're not buying anything. Your money is no good to us. We're not going to take it. We don't care. You can write a bad review, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You're not going to disrespect people. This is a family business. We run things in a very timely manner. You're not going to disrespect AJ, Christian, any of my guys. It's just not right. We're not disrespectful in any way. One of them was upset, and he was kind of foreign. Not that makes any difference, but it was hard to understand. So when Julie answered, she didn't understand what he was asking, passed it to, I think, Mike, from what I understood, and I should have intercepted the call, and I wasn't in the office. I was out with a customer. Then it got to my mom, and by that point he was frustrated by being passed around. We didn't know what he was asking about. And he said that he had emailed over the holiday. We were just coming back in on Tuesday morning after the holiday answering emails. We hadn't got to his email yet. Hundreds of emails, believe it or not, obviously. Hundreds of text messages. So he was a little rude, and he's not going to buy that car. It's not all about the money, guys. Just be respectful. We're respectful to you and our customers. We do everything we can for y'all. But anyway, I don't even know where'd all that come from. I don't know. Just keep going. So I was really upset. I want to make a whole video about that because don't get me on the mom thing. We just went through the whole deal with the lady and getting ripped off by the people, which there's a whole video to come about that. The local lady. I know a lot of you guys said thank y'all for helping her out, but we've immensely helped out since then. But that triggered all my guys. Like, if that was my mom, if that was your mom being treated that way. So I think something got triggered with all that the other day. And also remember, guys, the people you're calling in the office, Julie, my mom, and Mike, are all 70-plus-year-old people. So they're your elders in most cases. So, I was brought up to respect my elders in all cases. So please do so. Polaris. It is sold. We got to dust out the inside. She is a little dusty, but headed to Arizona. If he could have just bought it a few days earlier, we just had Arizona deliver a bunch of 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers to me. But it's going to get on the transport truck probably tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes through. Paperwork's transpiring right now. This was a locally owned, good friend of ours that built this bike. No expense spared on it. There's $20,000+ in accessories on this bike that somebody's getting almost for free. So great deal all the way around. He's happy to get it bought. Process was smooth. Matter of fact, I think it was Monday. It was the holiday. We FaceTimed with him because he had some specific things he wanted to look at and see that he didn't see in the pictures. We got that straight for him. So this one's going to go a long distance, but heck of a good deal for this customer on a 2025 XP1000. And then the Blazer. Alvin is finally getting a chance to clean this. This just left the off-road shop. This one got, just for you guys asking, it got Davis off-road wheels, brand new tires, lift kit, crossover steering, track bar, Fox shocks. It has full stainless exhaust. It has a full replacement transmission. It has a full fuel injection system put on it. It has new stereo. It's a little dark in here. Never shows up that great, but he's finally getting a chance to wash and detail this truck. Davis Off-Road full hideaway power steps. Yeah, very rare. All the way under. Over 40 grand just spent on this within the last 100 miles. And AJ put 50 of those miles on himself driving this truck back. It does have some clear coat paint imperfections, but it is not a rust bucket. It is a clean truck. Alvin's finishing up the detail on it. That truck's $47,500, I think, is what we're asking on it. So pretty much just paying the man's bill from what he just spent between us, the transmission shop, the fuel injection shop, the stainless exhaust shop. It's got stainless headers. And then, of course, all the Davis off-road goodies. So that's a good deal for somebody on a Blazer that is not a rust bucket truck. What else, AJ? I'm all still worked up. I'm all still worked up about that guy pissing. And Mom she was red in the face. She was not happy. She was not happy at all. Huh? Phone? Oh yeah, it's phone. Yeah, it wasn't an email. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was not good. I don't know. Like I said, all because of a little communication issue, and he got passed around a little bit. So, and the other person was kind of upset. And you guys, I'll fill you in. So, a vehicle was for sale. The man's been. We got text message chain. We do a lot by text message. I think 3 weeks roughly of questions. Can you check this? Can you do that? 100%. You guys know, if any of y'all been on the receiving end of trying to buy something from us, we try to get your questions answered pretty quick. There was a time some things over there got blocked in and we got a little behind. We'll take credit for that. But we're pretty well caught up now. Nothing is blocked in. We get things out. We take our videos. But can you check all the lights? Yes, we did it. We already knew they worked. Can you do a test drive, make sure it rides down the highway? We did that, no problem. Did you check the cruise control? Yes, we did that. We had to go back and do it because we forgot. Lots of close-up pictures. It had a couple little blistering paint spots we had to show. I don't know. There was some other things. And it was a custom, very, very, very custom vehicle. So the questions were rightly so, but they were spread out over weeks. And then the last text was, I think he offered like $5,000 less than we were asking. And then it was on Saturday. We didn't respond because we weren't in Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We came back in on Tuesday, and he called immediately. He hadn't got a text back. And unfortunately, the truck sold through online. And full price, no questions, no pictures, nothing was needed. Customer was happy. Customer watched the video. Matter of fact, we asked, have you seen everything? And he had. He'd watched everything. He'd seen everything. Then we had another situation very similar where a customer was asking for a lot of things and really, really nitpicking the vehicle, which is fine. It's no problem. And that truck got sold too. And he was quite upset because, he was asking and asking and asking, and the truck got sold. But it was the same deal. Somebody bought it and didn't ask any questions. So things happen. Can't please everybody, unfortunately, sometimes. But we try our best to do the best job we can. So thank you, guys. We're getting... What can we do, AJ, that you keep on reminding me we're so close to 500,000? And that's a big goal. We know we're not going to make it before it was, September 15th?
Yeah,
September 15th, we hit 100,000 2024. Huge momental time. Everybody stayed up late. Everybody watched it. It was a monumental time for us. 50,000 was important. 100,000 was huge. And then like the next day, we were like 105, 107. It was just crazy growth even that day, which was unheard of. We celebrated. We blew some stuff up. We cut some donuts, made 100 in the field. If you guys didn't see that, it was a pretty cool video. How can they search it? Go to our channel and search celebration of 100,000. It was fun. You'll see the 10-door in action. For those that say it's a pavement princess, you can see what it does. But 500,000, like we thought that would be crazy. And I think we'll hit it this year, obviously. But please share these videos. Please tell people, anybody that's a car enthusiast, anybody that's a business owner. I know this one's a little sloppy with some business stuff you guys might not care about, but please share it, talk about it, get people to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, because you never know. Your boss might be looking for a tow truck. Your boss might be looking for a 6-door. You might be the boss, and you might come into a great contract and you need some equipment. You never know what crazy stuff we're going to post. Matter of fact, we got some crazy stuff to post that y'all haven't seen yet. We like y'all to be along for all that. So thanks for doing it. Thanks for becoming part of the family. It's been a tough couple weeks, I'll be honest. And I came in this morning, I told AJ, get in a few minutes early, I want to do a video. And I did not even do that video. We totally changed gears. We did the business video. But I want to tell y'all, and I'll do a separate video and we'll say this again. I didn't want to have to make the video about what happened in our situation and losing the baby. But I didn't have any other choice. So many of y'all were congratulating. So many of y'all were walking in the front door saying, JW, I know you're busy, but congratulations, dude. I could see how happy you were. And I had to relive that pain all over again. And I didn't know what else to do. I did not want to share my personal business non-exciting on the internet. I shared the exciting. I didn't want to share the bad, but I didn't know what else to do. Tabitha was the same way. Every time it was like an extra stab. To me, it was like a kick in the, nards. It's a bad feeling. But people say, how'd you get through it? And I got choked up a lot, and I'm getting choked up now. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to leave you with this. I spoke at my dad's funeral, and me and my dad worked side by side since the day I can remember memories till the day he passed away. Literally every day. And I say that there was 2 weeks that we couldn't see him, so I need to tell y'all about that too. But till the day he walked out of this office and went to the hospital, we were beside each other pretty much every day. I said, I'm going to speak at his funeral. Mom said, you'll never get through it. I wrote it down. I typed it. I proofread it. I could not read it. I couldn't even read it without just bawling, like just flat out crying my eyes out. Mom said, Jeff, you're never going to make it. I know you want to do it, but you're not going to have the strength to do it. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it through. If I make it through 2 lines, it's better than none. It was paragraph after paragraph. I had a lot of memories. I made it through all of it. And everybody came to me afterwards and said, Jeff, I don't know how you did it. I went back the next day and tried to read it. I could not make it through 2 lines again. I was bawling. And I don't like being in front of people and talking. That's even worse. But don't ever, if you ever have that situation, you ever have that chance, I don't care if it's a friend, family member, anybody to speak, tell something about it, just do it. God, something will take over. And I just have to feel like, that's what I told everybody. I said, I just was comforted. The power, Holy Spirit, whatever, took over and said, it's okay. And I got through it. Like, I've watched that video. We have it on video. I'm going to share it with you guys one day when I got enough strength to do it and tell the whole story. I was able to do it and get through it. And again, I stumbled a couple of times because my speech isn't that great, reading from a proper paragraph instead of my gibberish. But I got through it, and you can too. So if you got something you need to talk about, just do it. And that was something with that. I just had to get past it. I had to find some way to ease the pain a little bit. And the good part from that, video was, I've had so many reach outs from people that had similar situations. Like, JW, just here's what I did. Here's what I did. And you can kind of fellowship in. You're not the only person going through it or that has gone through it, which is kind of a blessing at the same time. So anyway, that's just my preaching part of the day. I got to at least tell you all that and share that with you guys. And again, when you see the video, when I'm speaking of, like I said, it was all recorded. It's going to make some of you, my video the other day made a ton of people cry. Grown freaking men that said, hey, I shouldn't cry. I was freaking bawling, dude. You going through that. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how I did it either. I did it. And I know good Lord's looking out for us, and he has his plans and he has his reasons. One day we're going to figure it all out. So thanks, guys. Appreciate your support. Thanks for all the love you share. Thanks for all the support you've given us. And we'll be back at you tomorrow with some more action. All right, as we're finishing the day out, I want to thank you guys for sticking with us. Sorry I got a little choked up, a little emotional on that last section. But flags flying in the background. It's going to be a beautiful end of the day. Been a great day here. If you've stayed here this long, comment to trucks@davisautosales.com. Trucks@davisautosales.com. Please do not put the answer in the comments, but I want y'all to just comment how many subscribers is our next milestone. What are we looking for? That way we know you watched the video to the end. Put in there what our next milestone of subscribers is on YouTube. We're going to share a separate video on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. But another giveaway, merchandise if you're from afar, and if you're close by and you can come by, one of our tailgate benches. Mostly square bodies, tailgate park bench giveaway. Announced on Wednesday of next week. So you got whatever amount of days it is to watch this video. If you're watching it now and then you look back and you're looking at it a week later, you're too late. Wednesday, 1 week from today, Christian will choose trucks, TRUCKS @davisautosales.com. Giveaway, keyword when you email, all you have to do is type in the number that we're shooting for as our next milestone. Love to hit it real soon, but let me know what it is.